Welcome back, Titans. We have missed you so much and we are so excited for a new school year to begin. Because we cannot have back to school night at school, we're going to kind of do this virtually just to let you know some of the safety guidelines that are coming your way. So here we go. Okay, tighten expectations while you're at school. I need you to be prepared to learn as always, every day, ready to go. Attendance is critically important because Mr. Pelkey and I will only see you one time a week and your language arts and math teachers only see you twice a week. So please be there. Make sure you communicate your questions or concerns that you have from e-learning. So whatever you do on the opposite day when you're not with us, make sure you ask us those questions that you need answered while you're with us. Always be respectful to each other and staff. Follow the safety guidelines by staying as socially distanced as possible. Keep your hands to yourself, and you're always going to make sure you have that mask on. That is imperative and will be strictly enforced. So make sure that you're ready for that. Always have your Chromebook charged and with you. Your Chromebook, your binder, your supplies all need to go to and from school every single day. So do not leave things like that in your locker. Make sure that you have it. Make sure that that Chromebook is charged. And be ready to learn. And then be on time to class. As always, you need to be in your seat, quiet, and working when that bell rings. And again, organization is very critical. We're going to teach you some different organizational skills, some digital ones this year to try to help you out with that as well. Tighten expectations at home for e-learning. First one is you will complete a attendance check-in question every day by 9:20, and that's going to be linked to It's Learning, and I'll be using a Google form to do that. That's how we'll take your attendance and how the district will take your attendance. Try to stay on a schedule. Make sure, and there's an example schedule here on this slide. If this doesn't work for you, that's fine, but find something that does work for you and your family and try to stick with that. Be productive. Don't let yourself kind of stray throughout the day. Set small goals for yourself. Use a timer and then reward yourself with breaks. Number 4, advocate for your education. Teachers will be in charge of the students that are actually in our rooms at the time, but you guys can still email us for help. We'll get you as soon as we possibly can. Make sure that you use each other for help too, because you have classmates that are doing the same assignments as you are, and maybe somebody knows how to do something or how to answer the question that you have. When you do email us, please use proper email etiquette, meaning do not put the entire email in the subject line. And there's some other key points that we will discuss when you guys are at school with us on how to do that properly. Number 5, complete all the assignments so that you're ready to return back to school or have questions. And number 6, stay organized. Again, on the movement to and from school, make sure that you are on point with your organization. Very critical. As we know, communication is key. This year we have created a Titan website to try to streamline this communication. So this is going to be linked to your Parent Square message that I sent out with this video. Make sure that you star or bookmark this website because this is going to be kind of the place to get all the information from your specific Titan teachers. It's going to have our weekly homework schedule on there, upcoming Titan events, shout outs for students of the month or other positive behaviors. And so much more, a lot of district links as well. So make sure that you check that out. And then each of your teachers also has a page connected to this that you can get some resources from. The teachers are still developing their pages on this, but the main page is ready to go. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to contact us. Also, make sure you're checking your child Skyward at least weekly, making sure they're staying on top of their work and that everything's being graded accurately and everything's going smoothly there. And then, of course, make sure that you are linked to Parent Square. This is our main way to get in contact with you and to give information to you as a district and as a team. If you need help with that, please feel free to email me and we'll make sure that you have that information. This is what our hybrid weekly schedule will look like. Students with last names A through K will be at school with us on Monday and Tuesday, and that will follow an odd-even day pattern. So Monday will always be odd, and Tuesday will always be even. And then students that have last names L through Z will be at home doing independent e-learning assignments. We will flip that for Wednesday, Thursday. So Wednesday will be an odd day again, and Thursday will be an even day again. Remember, you're always going to be doing your attendance question that's going to be connected to its learning. Friday is going to look very different, and that schedule is going to come to you at a later time, but students, be prepared that you will be on Google Meets with all of your teachers that day, doing short mini lessons, or it could be question and answer type sessions. But it does begin at 8:20 rather than 9:20. Now you'll be out of school per se by like 3:45, but you will be meeting with your teachers virtually that day, so prepare for that. Chromebook expectations. Make sure that you're bringing your Chromebook to school and back home every single night. Make sure that your Chromebook is charged and ready to go. If you have any problems with your Chromebook, students, please let us know right away so that we can put a work order in on that and make sure that you have a functioning Chromebook to do your e-learning assignments. And then make sure that you're using your Chromebook for teacher-directed activities and that you're being a good digital citizen. Okay, supplies for this year. I'm sorry, this list is much more extensive than it ever has been before because we're trying to reduce the amount of shared supplies in the classroom. If by chance you cannot get some of these supplies at this point, that's okay. We do have some things at school. We'll just have to take some extra precautions when cleaning them, coming back and forth from school to home. Not a problem. There are some optional items listed there. If you can donate anything to your teachers or have some extra supplies for just you yourself to use, that would be wonderful. As always, our first priority is keeping your children safe. So we have lots of different guidelines and procedures in place to make sure that that occurs. The next few slides, I'll talk about these in detail. Okay, changes to arrival and dismissal procedures. Masks are worn on the bus as well as at school. Buses will be released as they enter the LHC parking lot to stagger students coming into school a little bit more. Non-bus riders will be supervised out front and then come into the building a little bit earlier than they normally would, again to stagger students coming into the building. Dismissal, walkers and car riders are going to be dismissed a little bit early, about 4:05. And then specific teachers on each team will be called over the PA to dismiss students in a staggered pattern. Impact expectations and changes to the breakfast procedure. Impact expectations are the same, so you can read through those. The change comes in the breakfast procedure. Instead of going through a line in the hallway, students, you will now just be seated in your class. Breakfast will be brought in a crate to your teacher. Your teacher will check off your name if you want breakfast and provide you with that breakfast. And then they will also come by and pick up all of your trash. So you're going to be in your seat the whole time when you are in impact class. Changes to hallway procedures. Students with electives will be released first from their classes just to minimize the number of kids in the hallway. Number 2, the remaining students will be released by rows from each class by their teacher. That's not that different. Some of us do that anyway. 3, students will need to be as socially distanced as possible when you're moving from class to class. Trying to have a kind of a one-way flow. Think about how traffic flows, something similar to that. Number 4, students will need to use the restroom and stop at their locker and be on time to the next class. A teacher will be monitoring the number of students going in and out of the restroom to make sure that there's not a whole bunch of students in there at one time. We may have to take scheduled restroom breaks, students, just to make sure everybody has their needs met. Number 6, you got to keep your mask on correctly, not down over your chin. You got to make sure that it's up over your nose. And then number 7, as always, keep your hands and your belongings to yourself. Changes to lunch procedures. Students to and from lunch, as we're walking, you're going to have to be a little more spaced out than normal. You will be seated alphabetically 3 to a table with your second block class. You will not get to choose who you sit with, and I apologize for that, but that is mandated by the Marion County Board of Health. So in lunch and in class, you will be seated alphabetically by last name. This is just the seating chart that we have to go with right now. Students, you'll still be able to get called up. Your row will call up and you'll go get your lunch, but every lunch line will have the same food so that we can distribute you guys a little more easily throughout the lines. Same thing when you go to drop off your trays, you're just going to need to take some distance between you as you do so. You will also receive a laminated barcode, like a card, for you to scan for your lunch so you don't have to type in your number. And you'll get that the very first day that you're with us. As always, there's hand sanitizer available, and the custodial staff always cleans after every single lunch as well. And there will still be allowed to be lunch detentions or help during lunch. It's just that you'll have to have limited amount of students in that teacher's room, and you'll have to be spaced 6 feet apart. Okay, cleaning procedures. Students will be given a disinfectant wipe by the teacher or a staff member to clean off their desk at the end of every class, and then they'll just drop that on the trash on their way out the door. Again, students will be dismissed by the teacher, with elective kids going first. Any shared supplies will be wiped down between uses. In science class, we have access to 3-sided plexiglass offices. So if you do have to sit next to somebody else, you have at least some separation between you. We will still be performing labs, students. I'm going to make sure that we get to do that hands-on science for us, but we will have to be extra cautious in the way that we clean supplies in between uses. Students must wear a mask. Again, I know I keep emphasizing that. And there will be consequences if they don't, but just wear your mask. It's for your safety and the safety of others, everyone. Incentives will still be in place to honor our students for their accomplishments this year. We will still have our Students of the Month, and they will still get rewards. We'll have our Habits of Success locker signs, and that's for students that show, let's say, thinking interdependently that day, honoring them. We'll still have our PBIS rewards, and that's our positive behavior rewards for students. We'll still have our family meetings. They just might be virtual this year. And finally, we'll have e-learning attendance awards. So for those of you that are logging on consistently at that 9:20 mark, we will have some rewards for you too. Okay, if you guys have any more questions, which I'm sure you do, please join us for a Google Meet on August 6th. At 6 to 6:25 will be our English speakers, and from 6:30 to 7 will be our Spanish speakers. We will have a translator available, and those two links are in this Parent Square message that I sent out. You just click on the link, and then you will join that Google Meet session, and we'll answer any questions that you may have. Students, I'm so looking forward to seeing you. It's going to be a different year, but it's still going to be fun, and I cannot wait to see your faces.